Okay, yeah. I guess I got to make a part two because I didn't really touch on what I was meaning to touch on. Um, so I have to, make another segment of what I just did. I can't just leave it at that. I wanted to really touch on the whole spiritual aspect, uh, for Mr. Charlie Zelenoff. I know you're apparently a spiritual minded person, Charlie Z. I've heard that you are. You're not an atheist, so it's I'm sure you believe in being moral and whatnot. So with that said, I really think you need to stop having these gym fights because most of these guys that I see you going against, they're not at all fighters. And I know you can hit. Everybody can see you. You have hands that can inflict damage to people. And these guys that you get in the gym, I notice a lot of these guys they're not at all fighters. And just think about it. You could really hurt them. You could really get yourself in trouble. You really should move on from that because I hate to say it, sorry to say it, but it really is a sinful thing what you're doing. It really is. I mean, you're living in sin by doing what you're doing, having these gym matches with these guys that, they're not at all the fighting type. And, I really don't think God would like what you're doing. I mean, think about it. I mean, you believe in God, apparently. I do too. And I mean, I would feel guilty to do stuff like that, go around having these gym matches with these lesser men than yourself that they're just not the type that likes to throw down. I mean, that's all that energy you have in you, but you gotta do right. You gotta go on the righteous path. You gotta stay on the righteous realm. You gotta get off that sinful path, Charlie Z, because it's not righteous what you're doing. The way you're using all that nervous energy of yours, you get yourself all amped up and everything, and it's not healthy either at all because you get so amped up and then you gas out so quick because, like I said in the first video, that's all that excessive emotional content. You're dumping all the adrenaline and energy. You're dumping it all right out. You don't know how to pace yourself because it's really not something you're meant to do. And I don't say this as an insult. It's just like I said in the first video. It's just simply a case of being that, you're just one of many or, most people that it's just not something most people are meant to do. You need to go on a different path. I've seen your really old videos where you're into basketball and stuff, and that's great. You should do that. Do that like on your cardio days, like lift weights one day, and then do like cardio stuff. Whether it's treadmill or running on the road or the track, whatever, and play some full court b-ball. Do it up. I mean, I think that's what you're made for. You're not made to go around wanting to be this great white hope or whatever it is that you're trying to be. I hate to say it like that. It just comes off that you're really trying to prove something, and maybe there's some kind of envy there. That I have this kind of feeling that maybe there's some kind of resentment or envy of people, boxers that are really successful, and you're trying to be that guy that, you know, maybe breaks barriers or something, you know. You know, I hate to say it like that, you know, the great white hope syndrome, or whatever way you want to word it. You know, I don't like to bring race into it, but it's just one of them things. Sometimes you do have to kind of acknowledge that it could be the case of somebody's mentality, their mind, what it might be deep down about. Like it's a deep-seated, deep-rooted kind of element to the whole thing, and you know, you feel like you need to prove something really special, and you need to you have a desire to be extraordinary and way above and beyond normal folk of your kind, your ethnicity or whatever. You know, I just don't see the emotional content. Just isn't there. You're just not made to be this boxer, you know. It's just one of them things that you got to learn to accept, and you know, the sooner the better, because like I said in the first video, time is going to keep rolling on and on and on. You are going to get much older eventually, and I would really strongly suggest that you move on to a different path, you know. Because I think it's screwing up your mind. I think it's making you crazy, because I've noticed, and I'm sure others have noticed, that in your previous older videos, you seemed a lot different. Like you actually, like, you know, you seemed like you had it together, you know, for the most part. I mean, yeah, the temper and everything, and maybe the excessive swag, which maybe just kind of goes hand in hand with being really young, you know. It's more or less normal in this day and age, but all in all, you pretty much had it together. You were somebody that acted pretty rational for the most part. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think there's definite hope and a lot of potential that you know, you got to just go on a different path and just hang up the gloves. Just leave the chapter behind. Just move on. You really need to, because I don't see anything good coming out of, you know, this whole boxing thing. There's nothing good that's going to come out of it. You know, it's making you very abnormally obsessed and like manic. Yeah, manic. Very manic. It's making you, and it's just screwing with your whole psychological makeup. You know, your DNA just isn't made for it. You're not wired for it. You think you are, but you're not. You're made to do something else. Like I said, I strongly suggest you really give it a try with the you know, like the natural bodybuilding. You know, just keep up consistently doing regular weightlifting routines. You know, obviously don't try to overdo it. Just do it at a proper amount with everything, you know, and eat properly, and mix in cardio on separate days, you know. Keep playing basketball, you know, but move on from boxing, because I mean, look at it this way. Even the great Marvin Hagler, when he retired, because Sugar Ray Leonard wouldn't give him a rematch, because that was the only guy he wanted to fight anymore, the only one he had a desire to box anymore after the first match, and Leonard didn't want the rematch with him, so Hagler just said, you know, to heck with boxing, I'm done. And from then on, he never looked back. He said, like, in an interview, that he never even wanted to put on a pair of gloves ever again, or hit a heavy bag ever again, because it would give him the wrong mindset, and he didn't want to slip into that mindset. He just wanted to keep going down his new path, you know. And that's what, you know, take it from that example, Charlie Z, you know. Move on and preserve yourself and empower yourself. I got to cut the camera.